What is up, everyone? Welcome
brother.
welcome to Mechs on Deck. We have the Hulk joining us today.
Oh man.
Oh man.
Sorry.
The Hulk
This is
and
why I
Macho
should
Man
never-
Randy Savage.
That's why I should never be allowed to open stream. Sorry. Hello.
But no,
Find out at the end of this episode if bringing Lang back on with all three of us here was a good idea or a horrible idea.
Smartest idea ever.
Yeah.
Oh God.
As Chewy said, we've got Mr. Langelandia. How you doing?
Man, barring recent events, we're great, man. Took some extra anxiety meds today, so we're
Lock it down.
locking
Lock
it
it down.
down. Yeah. How are you guys?
Whew, I'm doing good.
I'm good, man. I mean, I'm good. I'm better today. Stress.
Good.
QC is moving along. Still got a few tweaks here and there, but
Oh, is that the board you cloned?
if you're gonna copy someone, might as well copy the best. Am I right?
1-to-1. Just change the name of it. Nobody will notice.
Just exactly.
How are they going to know?
Yeah,
How are they going to know?
They will never know. No, I'm feeling good. QC's coming along. So the squid update is that I'm still working on them.
Love it.
I would be extremely surprised if you were able to finish everything while also working
and sleeping.
And sleeping.
There's 15 hours, 16 hours right there between the last 24.
No, nobody needs sleep. This is keyboards. You're not allowed to make money, and you definitely better not sleep because
Absolutely.
I already waited 6 months. So
Exactly.
Fuck you.
Guys, by the way, I think I'm coming under the weather with some group buy sickness, so it's gonna be about 5 months before I get these boards out.
You're just gonna repeatedly post like pictures of all of them just sitting in your like living room.
I remember a certain keyboard that was QC'd and ready, and pictures were taken with some Christmas trees. And then February came, and people finally started getting shipping notifications. I'm like, what is like? What happened? Like,
Life got in the way.
Dude, group by sickness, man. It's a thing. No,
what about you, Eric? How you doing, baby?
Dude, I'm good, man. I'm good. Other than like personally good. The rest of the world, I don't really know.
I feel ya. And at the risk of me exploding, let's just breeze on past that.
Let's ignore our problems and talk about keyboards.
That's America. Woo! It's definitely the this is fine energy tonight. Like,
absolutely.
it's fine.
All right. I would like to mention some great, cool, awesome people. Canon Keys, Project Keyboards, and Omni Type. They're in the process. The site's down right now. We're switching to Omni Type. We'll probably have all that stuff switched by the next stream. We have not been given the okay yet. We haven't been given the go ahead. So there's that. And then also Smith and Rune, Type Beast, and Zap Cables are awesome partners. We'll hear more from them later.
Do I get to announce the new sponsor, by the way? Do I get to announce a new sponsor?
I mean, there's a new one?
Yeah. Well, you guys were just talking about it earlier. Mechs on Deck is now brought to you by Raytheon.
Oh, yeah, absolutely.
The best place to buy a knife missile if you ever want to disrupt someone's wedding. So, Raytheon, great stand-up products. So,
yo, Loki, that'd be a dope sponsorship because we get so much money.
Money. They'd be like, "This is how much it cost." Easy.
Just free knife missiles.
You can see really how durable.
It literally just sits there, so I can say it. I will. I have a knife missile.
Keyboard.
I have a knife missile. I'm gonna type with it. Okay?
We can partner with them and do some durability tests on some Group by Baka or squids.
They're the Gucci slides.
Ooh. That's where they are. They're Gucci. On my feet. Gucci slides.
Far from the beach.
Yes. Ayo. I got them RFIDs in there. We good.
Hell yeah, brother. Yeah, brother. Well, let's get this showboat on the road. Let's get this luxury fucking sea liner out on the lake. Fast four, top 4 favorite switches. Go.
Switches, golly geez. Vint Blacks. I really enjoy Vint Blacks. I like basic. I'm just gonna put all JWK linears in the same fucking group because they're all the same fucking switch. Like, but I always have to mess with them though because, and this goes for everything except like Vince. I like the 98 gram springs, right? So we need heavy, we need linear, we're good there. And I will add Brown Alps to the list. And even though I don't currently have a board with them, I will accept Zycos as one of my 4 favorite switches because, and the reason that I say this, all of the boards I have in my possession right now are linears, all of them. The fact that I would and may build a board with Zycos in the future someday tells me I like them enough that they should be at the top 4 because I would, other than Brown Alps, I'm not going to build a fucking tactile board. Like, why? Still,
dude, shout out to Dutch Master who was building them earlier, and I just hopped in the stream and I was like, I'm so sorry.
Did he have any issues?
I didn't. I watched for a little bit, but I didn't ask too many questions. I was QCing. That's just gonna be my I should have made an email immediate response. Sorry, doing a bunch of keyboards.
No, I got a question that I want to answer in chat. Why am I dressed like Teha types with 2 different colored sleeves? This is a tiny sweatshirt. I'm supporting Tiny right now, not necessarily Mr. Nathan Kim. So it just happens to have 2 two-tone sleeves. So not throwing shade, just saying it's all about Tiny right here.
No, okay? We'll throw shade at Nathan later.
Whoa. Starting hot.
Spicy. I will. You know what? Well, maybe we should start doing our hot takes where you have to shoot a glass of hot sauce and then talk through your hot take.
Get some? Should I go? Get some?
We'll do it later. We'll get through
okay. We'll do hot takes later.
So then by the end of the stream, we're just throwing up like.
Let's start the rumor. Keep news. I agree. Let's start the rumor. Teha Lang beef. I'll get more viewers on my stream. It'll be great. It'll be totally worth it. Maybe people will buy more key sets for me.
Speaking of key sets,
Hey,
What's your top 4 favorite key sets?
hey, I did a thing. I got ready for this. Okay, I got ready for this. So, in no particular order, because how do you choose? It's like choosing your favorite child. Vostok, because I'm feeling that comrade energy right now. Okay, JTK Vostok fucking slaps, and props to Mike for making that happen for me over at Novel Keys. We have Arabic from our friends over at CRP, the Hammerworks Arabic. We've got Jimk Dumj. Okay.
Classic.
Jimk Dumj.
Is that an OG or is that a round 2?
This is a round 2 because I'm not smart enough to have been an OG. So, and then we have.
Okay, only like 110 people were. So
then we have Taro. Oh yeah.
Ooh.
So, in no particular order, because I can't choose mine.
you can't. It's
Obviously,
illegal.
can't choose mine. But I do have 4 that I could put in that top 4 of my favorite key sets. I'm going to put Cafe, Grain, 808 Boom, SA Recall, all top 4.
There you go.
4. Crazy.
There you go. I love it. Top 4 favorite keyboards.
I also am going to do keyboards here because, like, out in the world of keyboards I've tried, like, you know, I could say the Type K or whatever by Gawk. Like, I probably will never have that keyboard, but it looks fucking incredible. So I'm going to try with like physical keyboards I have. So I'm going to go with my Iron 180 Proto, the aluminum top, the PC bottom. I love that. Iron 165 Crown, and I struggle between the E85 and the Cypher because they're both really great. They both feel really good. So
that Cypher we saw in NorCal.
Oh, like Cypher, I love the keyboard, and thankfully, I've ordered a numpad for my wife, so she will inherit the Crown, and then we'll have a numpad because she wants F keys and a numpad. I'm like, okay, I will give you one of the many TKLs I don't need, and I can have the Cypher back. So I'm excited about that.
All right.
So yeah, maybe the Baka will be one of my favorites soon.
Good thing. It'd be really hard to get because I'm not sending you a fucking Baka.
I know.
I'm sending you a clone.
Well, I'm sorry, the clone of the Baka. I'm very sorry. No, that probably will become one of my favorite builds just because I'll have an MX and an Alps build. So that'll be Alps Browns and I'll have DCS Uri on it. So that'll probably be one of my favorites. And I have a palm plate being cut for it. So I'll probably I'm gonna put fucking palm plate with Alps and I'm gonna see what happens. Because why not? Because why not? Because I do what I want. I'm an adult.
Because fuck you, that's why.
Yeah,
because fuck you, that's why.
I don't think I've ever heard of seen that before.
Yeah, it's exactly. Someone was like, "Hey, we've got a spot," and actually, props to Clay for this, but they were having palm plates cut, and he's like, "I got space if you want to have one cut." I'm like, "Yup, let's do it." So, like, I guess I'm gonna have a palm plate Alps board coming.
Man,
don't you dare say it sounds horrible. I'm looking at my phone right now, and I see you saying that that's horrible, and I'm mad at you. Okay, I see you throwing shade.
It's gonna be intense.
With Alps Browns, it's gonna be great.
Like,
and if it's not, I will lie to literally everyone that it's the best board I've ever used.
It's gonna be so deep sounding because Palm is so deep sounding.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Man,
that's what I have. I have Palm in the Iron 165, and it's like that's probably my favorite board sound right now, especially with PBT.
Yeah. Well, moving away from keyboards for the last Fast 4 question, top 4 favorite foods.
I don't even remember what I said last time. I know I had steak and beer on there. Those are no longer in the top 4, sadly, because I'm required to not eat them anymore so that I don't die. But I'm just gonna put soup as the whole category. Soup is an entire.
What about gazpacho?
Spotch? I'm down with some spotch, bro. Like I'm down with some spotch. Like,
you know he's down when he's got a nickname
dude, you
for
like
it.
That sick oops, bro.
Oh, thanks for the oops, bro. It's ooper, bro.
Flags.
Dude, let's go get some spotch and some brewskis. Let's go, bro.
Dude, that oops was mad flags. But you know what's not flags? Is spotch. Spotch no flags.
Wow, bro, what? Oh my god. No, I'm down with spotch. It's a only summer thing and
Yeah.
occasionally, right? Like it's got to be hot. Like I
For
need
those
it
who don't
to
know,
be cold.
gazpacho is it's a cold soup. For those who are unaware, there's this dumb. Okay, this I say this all the time, but there's this really dumb throwaway line from the Justice League, like the cartoon series. It was fantastic, and it's like an alternate universe where Superman's like kind of a shithead, and he takes a sip of the soup, and he's like, Lois Lane, this soup is cold, and she's like, it's gazpacho, it's supposed to be cold, and then he gets up and he's like, "Meh."
Why do
And
you
so all the
remember
time-
that?
So I'm always like, it's supposed to be cold. Fucking lot.
Random facts with Chewy.
Oh,
There it is
shit.
every day. He says it all the time. It's like it's like she'll be like, oh, it's really cold outside. I'm like, well, it's December. It's supposed to be cold.
I feel like I've heard you say that before, but I've never heard the origin
The
of
origin.
We're like less than 20 minutes into being on camera, and I'm already almost dying.
What
This
happened
is
to
gonna
the
be good.
stream?
This is
This
gonna
is
be
what
good.
happens when you put three of us in a room and put
It's so
microphones
dumb.
in
It's
front of
so dumb. It's so dumb. Why do we do this? Okay, so then secondly, I'm gonna go with adult Lunchables. And what I mean when I say adult Lunchables is when you get a charcuterie board and you get crackers, you get cheese, you get meat. That's straight up fucking adult Lunchables.
Oh, hell yeah,
And
dude.
so like charcuterie boards, like give me some cured meats, give me some spice, give me some pickled pickled because I've had the weirdest things pickled served with the charcuterie boards, pickled blueberries, pickled watermelon rind, like all this fun stuff. And specifically if there's like a good goat cheese, that's like my jam. I'm gonna go with. I'm just gonna go with any authentic Asian food I can get my hands on, and that includes like subcontinent Asia, so like good authentic Indian food, good authentic Chinese food. Like I will seek that out aggressively. If I can get my hands on it. There's a Thai restaurant here that does one of the best curries I could ever get my hands on. So it's I'm gonna lump everyone and the very clearly vastly different cultures of the massive continent of Asia into one and say if I can get good Asian food, I'm down. So I'll say that. And then there is this Korean barbecued pizza that a local like James Beard award-winning chef makes that is just dope. And they finish it off with like spinach and it's all this crazy shit on it. I love it.
Dude, that sounds so good.
Now I'm hungry. I just ate a bunch of food.
I'm sorry, baby girl. I'm sorry. I made banana bread. My wife was like begging for banana bread. So I was like, all right, I make banana bread. And then I'm halfway through. And she's like, boys, do you want chocolate chips in your banana bread? And I was like, number one, what the fuck did you just say? Did you just say put chocolate chips in banana bread? We're about to fight. And then I had to split my recipe. So I've got 2 short loaves of banana bread. And I'm like,
well, those are yours.
no,
And
I ain't touching no fucking chocolate chip banana bread. Like, get that. This like my grandmother once put walnuts, which I'm okay with. I don't want them. Raisins and cherries. And I was like, I'm not eating a fucking fruit cake. This is banana bread. Like, what are you doing? My mother once said, I put a little sour cream in it to help. And I'm like, what is happening?
It's the cheesecake
the good
at that
cooks.
point.
Yeah, fuck, dude. Ugh, so dumb. So dumb.
Man.
Sorry.
All right.
This is what it's like to be inside my brain. Like just darting left to right, wildly in between all the time.
As someone that
Absolutely.
does not like nuts, the fact that you're like against nuts being in banana bread makes me happy. Because when I go to like a breakfast place and they're like, yeah, we only have banana nut bread, I'm like,
No. Banana nuts is for muffin, okay?
Yeah,
Yes.
banana nut muffin. Yeah.
That
Because
fine.
that's a thing. That's like, and it's only on the top.
Yes.
So you just get the top, and then you have banana. Then you eat the top half, and then in the bottom half you have just banana bread.
I
get it.
completely agree.
I still think
Our friend Hooligan from South Dakota points out that if I'm ever in town, we need to get weird food. South Dakota and like the weird like long departure from when the settlers moved there, you get some really weird shit. Like like really strange things. My favorite was I used to work at a 24-hour restaurant, and one of the things that the baker would make was sour cream raisin pie. Don't know if you've ever had that or heard of it, but it's like a meringue pie, but at the bottom it's like a pudding type pie, like almost like a lemon, but
Mhm.
it's pudding that's made from sour cream. So it's like a shitty cheesecake with raisins in it. And she would make 3 because, and which was more than any of the other pies, and it would sell out immediately. Like by noon, it was gone. And I'm like, what is with old people in shitty pie? Like, can we just like have good food, please? I don't know. Anyways,
Probably because they're like, well, it's pie, but it's not actually pie.
yeah,
It's like, wasn't there like that Wisconsin sandwich where people are eating basically just like raw ground beef?
oh, that's called
like
tiger meat.
It's like beef.
That's called tiger meat.
But not like beef tartare, like legitimately just like
ground beef that's just seasoned, and it's got stuff like Worcestershire sauce in it and mustard and onions and garlic, and you literally eat it raw.
Don't knock it till I'd try it.
Grew up on it with my dad. I swear to God, we eat it all the time. I swear to God. He never would eat it raw though, because he was always afraid that he would get sick. So like, here's me, like 10-year-old Jeff eating raw hamburger, and my dad's like microwaving them and eating it on saltines. He's like, it's good cooked. I'm like, whatever.
Yeah. It's like one of the situations. I saw an article about it where they were like, yeah, you should probably not do that. It might not be the best for your health.
No, Charlie's got it. Crack an egg on that, and that's a hangover cure. I'm telling you.
True.
There have been mornings where Jeff has eaten tiger meat as a hangover thing.
Dude.
Not intentionally for that, but it was in the fridge and it sounded good. The 20s were a fun time.
Go to Louisiana, get a Bloody Mary, and they'll put whatever the hell they want in it.
Absolutely.
Dude, Bloody Marys. Oh man, I could fuck with a Bloody Mary right now, dude.
Absolutely. So guys, if you don't know Mr. Langelandia or Langelandia, that's my favorite rendition of it, was Langelandia. He is the designer of GMK Cafe. He's the designer of you like that misstep there? And Finicky Grain. He is the co-designer. Technically, he designed 808, and then he just realized that someone else had also designed 808 at the same time.
And to CYO's credit, he did the overwhelming majority of the artwork for 808 Boom. So
a partial designer of Infinity 808, and as well as the currently running Essay Recall, which you can find at Novel Keys. So if you want a very cool car inspired set that
the worst car.
co-designed by you and Brotherlandia, right?
Yes, Brotherlandia, yes.
Brotherlandia. So as well as just some awesome stuff coming up soon that I wish I could talk about, but unfortunately I don't want to.
I'm excited. We can talk about it. It's fine.
There you go. So Mr. Langelandia, great friend of the stream. I like to call him the third member of Mechs on Deck, as he often fills in the fourth member of Mechs on Deck, being Mr.
D Klein.
Chewy, you gotta be careful there. It legitimately looks like you're not wearing any sort of pants.
All right, well, I just want to show off these.
Wait, oh yeah, show them off. Get them thick. Them thick. Oh yeah, girl. Get them.
That ain't no terms of service being broken. That's all thigh.
We'll give some booty shots.
Oh shit, dude. Getting NC-17 up in here.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Wait, maybe some forearm.
Osiris, your turn. Yeah, stand up, bud. Give us. Hey, I've seen, this is no shit, I've seen Osiris upside down in my friend's apartment twerking against the wall and left permanent foot stains against the wall.
When I get to visit, I need twerking from Eric.
Not on my wall. Or at least we'll put
I'll take my shoes off this time.
Early 20s, you're dumb, right? Late 20s, you're dumb, but you just don't make the same mistakes. You make new mistakes.
To be fair, they weren't permanent. He just never wiped them off.
We never wiped it off.
We wiped him off the day I helped him move out.
So what was I even talking? DD Decline is the fourth
Oh, yeah.
member. Mechs on deck. With those guys filling in. Because sometimes it's hard to get two people in the same room at the same time.
Well, I mean, how dare you get
108
sick?
108 times a year, right?
How dare you get sick? Like, what shitheads, man? Like,
To be fair. So before we get in, because I've got this sitting here and I'm wanting to like eat it, we're gonna do a hot take.
Oh, damn.
For those who don't know, I did this on stream on the 24-hour stream. This is the last dab. Shit's really hot.
Oh, you're doing the last dab. I almost bought it at the store yesterday. I was like, do I want it?
Shake it up.
Dude, it's actually really good. It's got like a nice like mustard grain taste.
And then it just singes your tongue.
Yeah, and then you just stop tasting altogether. So you're like, yeah, you're.
Well, and let's mark the time 8:35 best time when Chewy no longer is able to stream with us. So it'll just be Mechs on deck without Chewy.
We did that in like the middle of the 24-hour stream.
Towards the beginning, actually. It was like 7 hours in. Sorry, I'm having to use one tortilla. The shit's thick.
Yeah.
So I'm having to use one piece of tortilla.
God, who was it? Who was it that like went at it on Hot Ones?
No idea.
Someone like fucking got after it. Oh, it's gonna bother me. Because I remember he was like, and we do a dab, and he was like, let's get it. Like, bullshit. Thick. 2 C's.
All right. Is this enough, or do I need more?
You shouldn't ask that question because the answer will always be more.
I feel like that's enough, Chewy. That is a larger amount than I anticipated.
Yeah. that is a sufficient amount.
All right, here we go. All right. So I'll get my hot take ready.
Why do I always come on the streams and it's so ridiculous?
Rookie amounts. Grind says rookie amounts, and Grind is someone who I respect and love and cherish. I also don't want to disappoint him. So I just doubled the amount. So here we go. Even more.
Shield jug.
Good Lord.
All right. So here we go. Grind. This is for you, baby. We're going to go right on the tongue. I sent this. Before I say this, I don't want anyone to think that I actually like hate Nathan. I have nothing but respect for Nathan. So here we go. On the tongue, flipping it.
Attaboy. Oh, and
pat it down.
Pat it down.
Mm-hmm. Okay. So if you guys haven't seen,
they say the first cough is the worst.
Teja Types posted today. Picture, I think, is the Jaguar. And he said, brush stainless. Wish more keyboards offered a brushed finish. Let's talk about that real quick. So, hiccuping. So, brush stainless. It's comments like this. Hiccuping. It's comments like this that are going to drive the community in a direction. So 2021, Teja made a statement. I haven't had water yet. Teja made a statement that I disagree with. I even disagree with. I like stainless steel, but I'm calling it now. Hot take. Stainless steel is going to get fucking overused for the foreseeable year and a half, because Teja is the person that said, we need to do this. I like this, so now everybody's got to do this. Hot take. He's someone that controls the hobby. Oh, there it is.
Dude, I low-key forgot how much you look like AJ Hawk when you take your glasses off.
Oh, yeah, dude. Why do you think my hair's long? Oh, Jesus fucking Christ.
Is Chewy okay? Chewy will be fine.
I'll be good. I've done this before. I don't do it often, but I've done it before.
Oh, man. Just think that endorphin, that serotonin.
He's reaching peak
Pumping.
clarity.
Yep. The gateway, right?
So you guys just talk about essay
Ascend
recall for a minute.
to the gateway.
Essay recall for a minute. Grind, I did it for you.
Yeah, tell us about essay recall. Like,
So it's a key set that so my brother had like the genesis of this idea. So when we were kids, story time, ladies and gentlemen, and variations thereupon. My dad, our dad had a blue Pinto station wagon. Okay. And if any of you don't know what the Ford Pinto is, you need to look that shit up, because the short wagon, the hatchback was like Ford's answer to the small European car. And there was a factory defect that, and this has been disproven, but at the time there were a lot of news stories about how if you rammed the back of the Pinto hard enough, it would literally just explode. So they, in turn, years and years have gone by. They're the ones. The Pinto is the reason that in Fight Club they reference the number of dollars a human life is worth, because the number of parts to replace all of their cars that were on the road cost X amount of dollars. How much they pay out per lawsuit? Ford did that math to determine if they should do a recall on the car. Which now, of course, is just standard practice. They just decide if they should do a recall, if it's dangerous or not, because human life is worth nothing. But anyways, he had a station wagon, which apparently didn't have the problem, and we lived on the farm. So you're a farm kid, and you have cows, and you till land, and you milk for your neighbors. He also drove the school bus. The farm vehicle we had was a Pinto station wagon, okay? So we would, calving season, one of the cows, they'd be out in the pasture. One of the cows would have a calf, and we'd have to bring him in, separate the calf from the mom, right? We would take the fucking Pinto and lay the calf down in the back. So we grew up with Pintos. My dad loved it so much. The first car he ever bought for his sons was my brother, and he got a 74 Pinto station wagon that was banana yellow. And it had a stick shift and a drive stick shift. So here we go. Anyways, we have this like love of the Pinto. And so Pinto had a very rare package that you could purchase. And in 77, they came out with the cruising wagon that had a porthole window on it. So a circular porthole window and this bitchin' yellow, orange, and purple stripe over gray paint that like followed the side of the car and went up at this angle. And so he brought up this idea like, we love Pintos. This is fucking ridiculous. Everything that we try to do is ridiculous. So let's do it. I'm like, okay. So that's what we kind of did. And I knew we both are very aware of the fact going into it. It's SA. So not many people love it. It is a weird kind of stripy gradient set. Not a lot of people love it. And so we never figured it would go gangbusters. I have no concern over every single kit getting made, for the record. So anyone that's watching this that's like, I don't know if I want to buy it, and then just have it not get made. It was priced at a point where it would make it no matter what happened. So just throwing that out there. But yeah, we're gonna have this weird, like, classic key set. It's inspired by a shitty version. I'll call it a bitchin' version of a shitty car. So that's SA Recall. We toyed with the idea of like novelties and like like having one of the backspace keys be like an explosion or like something like a recall, like literally putting recall as one of the backspace keys. We're like, every time we put it in there, it just didn't like it. So it was like, you know what? It's the 70s. Most everything you get, like that package, you didn't get new trim inside the car. Like you didn't get fucking leather seats. Like the cruising wagon, you got the exterior, and that was what cost you $800 more. Like that's your package, bud.
I just want to know what the point of the porthole windows were. Like,
dude,
why?
I don't look at it. It's so crazy to me. It's so fucking crazy. I love how stupid it is. Like, it's just someone was like, yeah, why porthole? Like, and they made a van. They made the Ford Cruisin' van. Look it up. It's wild. And 77 was the only year that I found that they did this color combo, because they did one in 78 as well with different colors. I'm like, what? They're like, well, that one didn't sell well. Let's do exactly the same thing again, but change the color. Okay, that one didn't sell well either. Just, oh, Ford.
Dude, I'd buy the Ford Cruisin' van.
Dude, if I saw one for sale, I'd fucking buy it. I would buy it right now. I swear to God. Someday maybe I'll own a Pinto again, because there's just like something, it's like wrapped in your like childhood nostalgia, like at the same time as like that vintage joy of and hating every second that you're driving the car, because every vintage car ever is actually a really big piece of shit. But you're like, it's so good. Like, yeah, I love having to fix something literally every time I drive it.
It's like driving a race car, but just going really fucking slow.
Yes, exactly. Exactly. So yeah, I mean, I love vintage cars, don't get me wrong, but and like when you watch people like, I don't know, like Jeremy Clarkson, who's bitching about how much he loves classic cars and they're perfect, and he's like, but they fucking suck. And I don't think there's many people that have driven more cars than him. Like, he's right. Like, they do suck, but they're great at the same time.
Little column A, little column B.
Little column A, little column B. So that's SA Recall, and that's why. And please consider purchasing it if you haven't already, friends.
It's a great looking set. I think you've done, we've seen, it's not the first time we've seen the different, different keys and kind of going through using the full canvas, if you will.
Yeah.
And I think we're going to see that more. I think that's kind of where we're going, because that's where that's kind of where that's the only place we have left to go, is using the whole key set. We've got the gradient that we've gotten. But I love sets that kind of can use the whole. It's the keyboard's a canvas, right? It's a blank canvas if you're thinking of it outside of the box.
Yeah. No, and that's I'm trying to make that work with another set that involves neon, and I haven't found a way that I like it yet. So I'll get there, but I don't know. It's been very difficult. So it's inspired by my son's fish tank. I think Nebulant knows what I'm talking about. So it's proven challenging. just to be direct, it's been a challenge. But you were in chat one night when I think I cracked the code on how I was going to do it. So I just haven't gotten the work to do it. So I'm excited about that one. I think it'll be fun, because thanks to Nebulant, certain colors can fluoresce in GMK sets. So I'm very excited for that possibility in the future. Also, trademark Langelandia if anyone just stole that idea, because it's mine. And no one ever has used the same color in two sets ever. So
not even a little bit.
I'll come after you. That's why I said that GMK Olivia was my favorite set, because it's actually mine. So
yeah, there you go.
Got him.
By the way, dibs.
So you've now worked.
Thank you for letting me rant, by the way, on Recall. I appreciate it.
It gave me some time to collect myself. So we talked about this yesterday. I'm excited because you've now worked with 3 different keycap vendors with this set. You and I think Rinsuya are in a small club of people who work with multiple vendors and multiple keycap types. But you're also the first one to do Infinikey. Really, off the top of my head, not many. I can't think of anything immediately that has run an Infinikey or an EPBT type. I guess vaporwave.
Yeah.
Of doing 2 of the same profile. So cherry.
Yep.
You've done Infinikey Cafe, which kind of came and went. It was kind of flash in the pan. It was like, oh, by the way, it's here, and it's gone.
Yeah. Yeah.
So
sorry, I'll let you finish the question.
No, you're good. So I want to talk about the differences in working with GMK, because with GMK you worked with Canekeys, if I recall correctly. Canekeys for GMK, you worked with the Key Company, with Infinikey, and now you're working with Novel Keys. and SA on a different set. We'll get to that in a little bit, but I want to talk first about the experiences on GMK Cafe.
Yeah, so number one, I currently have a lovely relationship with every vendor I've worked with. I don't think I've burned a bridge yet, so let's put fingers crossed around there.
Let's start burning some bridges tonight.
As he burns a bridge.
No, so GMK Cafe and working with Upas, especially right around, at the time, I don't know if he's sold more since then, but at the time that was the set that he had ever sold the most of. So it was like this kind of coming out party, and it was the first set that Desk Hero in Canada ran as a proxy, and so we had kind of all these firsts that came associated with it. And working with GMK was fine. The communication I would like to be better. However, I still feel like they update more than some even. The people that reign supreme with communications is Signature Plastics, because you can just fucking email Melissa and she'll get to you usually by the end of the day. So, anyways, that aside, I don't know. It was kind of no muss, no fuss. The color matching process was kind of funny because a lot of people don't maybe understand this. And Nebulant, I'm sorry if I used the wrong words. I know you're very versed in color, so I'm sorry if I use the incorrect words. But GMK, they prefer to work in RALs. They can absolutely work in Pantones, and they have before. They will again. There's not like a rule, just for the record. But it's much easier with a RAL because there is a deviation from X that you use to create a color based on 6 points. Okay, I think it's 6. Correct me if I'm wrong, Neb. You're in chat. And then, so when you get the shot plastic that is the color, they say, "Here's the color." Like, there's not like a ton of back and forth. It's like, would you like this more saturated? It's like, here's the color. And, kind of the response that I got at the time was, if you want it to be different, you have to choose a different RAL, which I understand. Now, I'm going to put an asterisk here because I wasn't using special equipment like Nebulan is using to determine a color. Okay. So I don't know if they've changed their process associated with that. So I can't speak on that. But that was a very easy process. Is like, if you don't like this, change it. Like, okay. And we didn't have to change it. We got lucky. And it sold well, and it was easy. I wish that space bars wouldn't have been an issue for some of the customers. And I hope that they fix that moving forward. But space bars seem to be a continued concern of mine, no matter with whom I'm working. So we're just gonna.
They're tough. I mean, at the end of the day,
we're just gonna breeze past that.
Key. Yeah.
But I was proud because I personally flew to Germany during a pandemic and hand warped all of their space bars for them. So I am proud that they didn't come out straight. So
got to make sure that you got a nice, good curve to them.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And then in Finicky, then when we did Cafe, because that was I think Chewy is where you're getting at with this, right? Mm-hmm. Cafe was very desired. I continue to have questions about when is another round of GMK Cafe. It's September, by the way. And can we get more Cafe in people's hands? And so, I was already working with TKC. We'd done grain, hadn't shipped yet. We were doing 808 Boom. I had a good relationship with them. And they said, we want to try and do something new where we want to buy and do an in-stock sale. And I was like, okay. I didn't have a job. I was like, yeah, I'll take money when I need it during the pandemic. And also, I want to help hopefully reduce the price of aftermarket Cafe sets, because no one should have to pay what aftermarket prices of GMK are. Like, that just it sucks, and I don't like it. Well, and it also bothers me because, like, I feel like some people have this point of pride associated with the fact that their aftermarket sets are worth so much, but like, that's a massive disconnect, because like, maybe the reason it's so high is because it only sold 200 the first time anyway. So like,
no one cared about it when it happened.
So like, for me, if someone's spending $300 on Olivia and there are, 7,000 sets out there, like, that speaks more to that popularity than, something else. But anyways, so that process was interesting because very directly, both the manufacturer and TKC were like, we very, very likely will not, in the timeline with all of the shipping and the pandemic, very, very likely will not hit GMK exactly, which I understand because it's dye versus a shot plastic, right? So I didn't expect there to be a perfect one-to-one. So knowing that, I actually picked Pantones for them to match to, because then they have that physical there that they go through rounds on, and then they send me the example, and I'm like, okay, I put it on a board. I think this looks great. Is it a 1-to-1 with GMK Cafe? No, and I never expected it to be, but I was very excited.
It would be borderline impossible.
Well, I mean, I'm sure it's possible, right? Especially with someone like a Nebulant out there, or going through that color matching process. I'm sure it's possible to get as close to your eye as far closer than we tried, right? But I said, here are the three Pantones that I would like for this. Let's match to that, as opposed to I'm sending you a bunch of keys, match to that, right? I didn't want to go through that whole rigmarole. Plus, we wanted it to be like a Christmas surprise, an in-stock thing. And I was like, let's do that. So I'm very pleased with the way it came out. I'm still pissed off at myself though, because I put the wrong character on the B key for the Arabic kit. It's reversed. It should mean no, and it says ON. And I'm like, it bothers me, because the Arabic community was very excited about it, which I'm still in their server, and they are a lovely bunch of human beings. I'm a big fan. I didn't know there was that active of an Arabic community, actually. So it was nice to see 50 to 70 people in this server that chat very frequently with one another, that were very excited about Arabic kits. So in the future, if I order anything else from Infinity, even if I have to pay out of my pocket, I'm going to fix that B key at least, because I'm genuinely troubled by that people bought it for functionality and can't use it, or they look at it and they know it's wrong and they're like annoyed by that. So
that was another piece that I wanted to talk about, was choosing to do the Arabic sublegends. I know you're a big fan of it. You talked about CRP being one of your favorite sets. But we don't see that very often.
Yeah, so I think sublegends, when done well, are a wonderful thing. Like, or even monolegends in a different language. Like, I was just talking with Keeb Noob earlier today about this. We are trash TV fans, okay? So we watched The Bachelor, we love it. And I actually, after they had the first episode of the season, this week, and they have a young lady who happens to be deaf as one of the contestants, as one of the girls meeting with The Bachelor. And everyone was very excited. They were talking about how Matt is the first Black Bachelor, which I love. Please, God, give us what people actually look like in the real world on television. But they didn't really talk about how I think, and I could be wrong, so don't quote me, that she might be like the first deaf person to ever be on the show. And I think like that's a huge leap and bound. So like representation is huge for me. So when it comes to keyboards, I want to see more sublegends. I want to see interesting things. I want to see new things done so that people can have it. And Arabic for me, not only is it rare, but also it's beautiful. And when I initially did Cafe, I was like, well, yeah, coffee originated in essentially what is believed to be Ethiopia, is kind of the general consensus on that. But the part of the world that made it famous, most all of them speak Arabic or Farsi. And I know they use a different alphabet and that's a different language. But I was like, Arabica coffee, that's great. And at the time that GMK Cafe happened, GMK didn't yet have those sublegends. And when you look at the price of the black kit that we ran the first time, it was already like $70 to the customer. So if we didn't have those legends and we did Arabic legends, that would have been like a $130 kit just for different legends. So I'm like, no, that's never going to happen. Now that Pulse did it, we have Arabic sublegends. So Cafe Round 2, I very much want to have Arabic sublegends for that. Not only to give more bones to a community that is more active than I ever thought would be active, but also because they're beautiful and it works with the set, and they just look so damn good on top of that. So it's kind of multi-purpose as to why I want Arabic. And so, like one of the other sets I'm working on, Chewy, I think it's inspired by the old MSX computers that has sublegends on it, and that's not even a language. Technically it's Unicode, but I want to explore interesting new things. Like the work that Nathan's doing with Polybius. Like I love that. That's so cool. Do interesting new things, please, God. Because at a certain point you just have so many colors and everyone's already used the colors. So let's do new and interesting things. So Anyways, sorry. Obviously, I'm a talker.
Why would we ever bring someone who's good at talking and talks?
You asked that question, and I went from The Bachelor to GMK Polybius, all in basically one breath. Like,
yeah. We asked you why you did Arabic
Legends to Space Bars to Arabic Legends.
But no, it's important for me to give context as to like things that I think about, right? So
you threw the origin of coffee in there.
Well, like, it's some people. And I say some people, but you've got shitty people everywhere, right? And so you've got like people in the community that kind of fucking suck, right? And they're just going to shit or meme or fucking be haters, right? So I think it's important for the people that actually give two shits to understand that, sometimes it looks like we just yeet this idea out there and it works, or it doesn't, or I picked colors and that was that. There's a lot of thought that goes behind it. Again, and I said this in my first appearance ever, but like, compare that to the work that goes into designing, building a board and all of that shit. Like, key sets are easy compared to that shit. Like, they're fucking engineer level crazy, and I'm a goddamn kindergartner. So, like, anyways, there's just...
Yeah, can we get a cafe coffee cup, please?
Yeah, you guys can get a coffee cup. We'll do that next time. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm really, I've got cafe. I use it at work. It's, I guess, probably, I'd say it's my most used set.
I got shine all up on mine.
It's not my most used ever, but currently it's.
Camping is your most used ever, right?
Yeah, but because I type on cafe every single day. Well, Monday through Friday. So there you go. There's your ego, your ego boost dance. I love it.
No, it's like that was the craziest thing ever because I was like, initially all I wanted to do was hit MOQ. That's all I ever set out to do. Like, just get made. Like, I'm not sure the money's nice. Don't get me wrong. Like, making some scratch on the side is great,
especially during a pandemic. Like,
yeah, right. So I don't like sit down and I'm like, all right, I'm gonna make, like, let's do this. If I do this, I'll get this much more money. I'm like, just make sure the set gets made. Like, anything else is gravy, baby. So to have cafe go from my expectations at 250 to 1,500 sets with extras and constant questions about if there's ever going to be a second round, which again is in September. Like a wild expectation change. So
it's, like I said, it's fantastic. I want to talk about your experience with this round of Infinity with Cafe versus.
Oh yeah.
Because as we all know, Grain was a shit show.
Let's not say was, because
Grain still is currently.
It does
because my keycaps are in a bag that I don't use right now, which is crushing my soul a lot because I'm very, very, very pleased with the way the color looks, and everyone that posts a picture, I'm so happy with how it looks. But so many people can't use it or don't use it because of the weird shit that happened with it. And did not know this. So anyone that's curious about this, let's put this to bed too. Z Frontier, if there's a fix kit, so like coming with the set, they don't ship until the fix kit comes. So there's people that bought from Z Frontier that don't have Grain yet because the fix kits haven't arrived to Z Frontier. So when I say it still is a shit show, like, I still very, very upset by it. Now, fast forward to getting so like things happened in between this, right? Because we ran Grain, it went to production. Pandemic happens. We do 808 Boom. We get a prototype for 808 Boom like right away. Like, group buy doesn't even start and we have the prototype already. It was lovely. They started doing that rapid and fantastic. I still had issues with the space bars, but they were getting new molds for those, right? So I was like, okay, don't fuck up the space bars and we're good. And then fast forward to getting Cafe that had the new spacebar molds. And I'm like, personally, I would work with Infinity again, so long as they actually deliver on those fix kits for Grain and the spacebars stay straight like they were with Cafe. Because mine, I got, how many fucking sets of Cafe did I get? I think I got 6, and I opened every single fucking box. I looked at every single spacebar, and they were all dead ass straight. So I was like, very minimum warpage. So I was like, okay, like,
we talk shit about TKC a lot. and it's not even TKC, it's Infinity, right? Because a lot of their problems it's the belly of the beast when you are the sole if you're the one giving out Infinity and you're the only one that's giving out Infinity, you get put in together. Mm-hmm. But we got Infinity ePBT Pastel or PBT Pastel.
Oh yeah.
And I want to show it off real quick. So let's go over the facts that happened. The green was mismatched, and instead of other vendors can run Infinity now. So there it is. But for right now, I mean, and honestly, if I'm a vendor, I'm probably not touching Infinity quite yet.
Yeah,
I'm letting TKC handle
let them struggle until it gets fixed.
Let them polish that bad boy up and make it great, and then you get to just cash in off of TKC's things. So for those who don't know, Infinity Pastel ran. There's like 5 different sets you can get, all different pastel colors, and then one that was a rainbow. My wife is very into rainbows. We made the rainbow board, which the set is on. They'll show off in just a second. And the green is not a pastel green. It is a very intense green. The green looks good, but we've talked about, because now the second the set ships is when it's in your hands. Now is it a good set at that point? And we're now viewing it as, okay, we know the problems. They allowed people to do returns. We didn't, because we were like, you know what? With my experience with like Mizu and Peaches and Cream, where it's like, just because it doesn't match doesn't mean it's a bad set. Doesn't mean you're not going to like it in person. So here it is. Once it focuses. Pastel purples, pinks, orange, pastel yellow, pastel blue. Hell of a green. Hell of a green. But on this board, we got rated. We got
double rated.
Apiary and Teja both rated.
Oh my goodness. My goodness. Hello, everyone.
And Teja with 1,078. Thank you, guys.
Hi, friends.
So we're showing off PBT Rainbow. What's up, guys? Time to eat another last dab. No, dude. No. I value my time. Guys, for those who don't know, Mechs on deck is Osiris and myself. We are joined here with Lang. Go buy SA Recall. SA Recall on Novel Keys. You can use Nathan or Teja types as discount code or partner code or whatever it is. Teja. Give a little Teja, give a little Lang. That's all I'm saying.
Love you guys. Welcome.
But go buy SA Recall. We're going through Infinity Pastel Rainbow. So that green, like we said, that green is off. It's definitely off. It's not pastel. On this board, it works. Because
on every board, though.
It's like the rainbow vomit. Does it work on every board? No. So something that I would love to stress to people is, if you genuinely, if you see pictures and they allow you to return it and you don't want to, I get your money back.
Which, okay, so a couple of things I want to say. So obviously, again, grain did not. It's been a thorn in the side. Okay, I have huge amounts of respect for Rise and the patience associated with the back and forth there. Like, I will go to bat for that all the time. He involves me in questions, and he's like, Jeff, would you like to explain more? Like, a ton of stuff. So huge props there. Just want to get that out of the way. And also, like, they TKC allowing the refunds when they said, here's the issue, now, absolutely, they can get better in certain customer response aspects, right? Because sometimes you hear nothing, or sometimes it's very much like a fuck you, bro. That said, it's getting better.
I feel like those situations that have been has almost been like a too many cooks in the kitchen, like too many people that are able to make statements, which is why they've had those issues.
Yeah, completely agree. So I I am excited to see what comes, and I know there's some keyboard talk of new things in the future. Um, again, I personally I have a good relationship with I think everyone I've met at Key Company, so I don't I don't want to shit on that institution. I am very upset about the way Grain turned out.
Well,
So
I mean, but Grain wasn't Infinite. It wasn't TKC. Grain was
I know.
yeah.
I know.
Well, and
So I want to
all
be very clear about the separation there of like
even
I
all
don't have an
the
issue.
all the times that we talk crap about not talk crap, we share our grievances with things that are done with
Which is
at
fair. If I had
TKC.
issues with shit that happened at Novel Keys, I would air them. I
Yeah.
haven't had a problem with Novel Keys though. So
Right.
like I haven't had to air any grievances.
It's not that we don't like the people at TKC. We always say we love what your goal is. We love what you're trying to do because they're trying to do some really cool things and trying to take this community to a different level. And that's super appreciative. Like I love to see that. We talk about how we would love to see the companies, the vendors that are keyboard people getting huge and exploding in the community, because that's the type of people you want to have when this goes huge, right? I mean, hell, we just got rated by a keyboard streamer for 1,000 viewers and another one for over like 300 viewers, right? Like this community's getting huge. We want to see the vendors of people who love keyboards grow. But like I say, I feel like they just need to slow down sometimes. It's like, pump the brakes, just slow down.
Pump those
It's okay to take things slowly. It's okay. Everything's fine. The world will still be here. I don't know for how many years yet, but tomorrow it'll still be here, I think.
Hopefully. Well, guys, you heard it here first. Langelandia ended the world.
No, I used to have this thing that I would say when I used to manage restaurants, right? And every now and again, you have a very emotional individual who comes to you because a table was mean to them or they forgot to put in an order, whatever the hell, and they're beside themselves. I'm like, I used to tell them, I'm like, this sounds very dark, but every day ends. Like this will end, and the sun rises tomorrow, and we get to start again.
Whether you like it or not.
Whether you like it or not. It's not the end of the world that you didn't put in that order of nachos. Nope. They care. Nobody else cares. Like, it's fine. It's food. We're not performing heart surgery. Like, it's fine. It's keyboards. The sun will set and rise tomorrow. Okay? That's just what it is.
So, that's it. I like that. I'm going to send that with, sorry, I was practicing my juggling skills with the Squid 60s. So if you see a few dings and dents, don't worry. The sun's
Speaking of juggling skills, I don't think we should rate him again necessarily, but we have a friend that is on Twitch that's a juggler. Grandmaster Ong, props to him real quickly. He juggles in his home. He's an interesting gent. He's a circus performer. So I'm a big fan. Nice guy.
Hey, can't have circus crowds. Might as well stream it. I get it.
Fucking A, right?
Dude.
So good.
So, but it's... I always like hearing the differences. What's kind of a key difference between working with Novel Keys versus TKC versus Canon Keys?
So the thing
not necessarily a bad difference, just a difference.
Yeah. So I'll talk about the 3 US vendors separately because like we haven't even talked about the fact that I've worked with multiple Australian vendors and multiple European vendors and like multiple vendors in greater Asia mainland. So like going down that rabbit hole is crazy. So we'll just talk about US. But UPAS with Canon Keys is probably the most direct, frequent communicator out of everyone. Just because it is very much him and his wife that do everything. And that's not like a shot at anyone that has employees. They just happen to only be a 2-person.
Mike's a busy guy.
Yeah.
Mike's a very busy guy.
And he has been he's gotten more and more responsive as they continue to hire more and more team members because he wants to be more customer facing. And he's been very clear about that. So I have no qualms about that. But, Andrew with Canon Keys, he also was very straight. So, I would do things in kitting where he would say, I don't think we should do this. Here's why. And he would just be direct and upfront about that. So I have no issues whatsoever with that. TKC, to your point, is, it's different working with them because they do have so many people. You know, they have Jason and they have Mint, Susan, and they have Rise, and they've got Launch, and they've got customer service people, and so it is very interesting. I literally found myself starting to create group chats just so that we were all on the same page, because otherwise it was like a nightmare to try and manage. And again, not that's necessarily a bad thing. It's just learning curve of how to work with those folks. And then Mike with Novel Keys, it so far has been the easiest, breeziest, like low stress sitch ever. Because just to be direct, if anyone is on the fence about SA Recall, when I first sent him, the set, I said, before I post IC, I'm curious if you would be interested in running this. And he was like, "Yep, let's do it. December sounds good." I'm like, "All right, great." Like,
sure.
Yep. So, and then, I worked with Melissa at Signature Plastics on pricing, and I sent him the quotes. And he was like, "Do you want to do boxes or do you want to do bags?" And I was like, "Well, since the boxes add $30 a kit, I don't want to do that." Because I'm in the business of as much plastic for the money as we can do. Yeah. And so we priced it at the base kit of 200 MOQ and the others child kits at 50s and 25s. And that was him saying, "I price it at the MOQ I'm comfortable buying it out at." So he's like, they're at a point now where they are so certain of what they can do, and they understand their income and bottom line and cash flow. And I'm not saying that others don't, but he was just so direct about, here's what we're going to do. And, we'll post. And, we use Basecamp as a project management site with all the proxies instead of trying to manage multiple team chats in Discord. So everybody's different. I think moving forward, I would like to leverage a project management tool like a Basecamp, just to make sure that it's outside of the Discord sea of PMs that you get as a vendor, like for their benefit of, hey, I need pricing on this thing. And then they see it right away because they get an email that's like, "Oh, I forgot to give pricing to that." So if anyone's looking for recommendations, use a tool like that, because they get so many direct messages on Discord. It could be weeks before they get to yours. Like that's part of why Mike is so hard to respond to people, is because if he gets an influx of questions while they're selling 10,000 keyboards, yours is buried. You're just not getting to it, at least not for a while. So
it's really cool to see that the community is at that point, especially with something like an SA group buy. Because if you ran SA Recall 2 years ago,
oh yeah, it's dead in the water.
Yeah, you'd be sitting here like, crap, I'm gonna have to either buy this out or I'm gonna have to get all my friends together and be like, "Hey, listen, can you just go ahead and like," it's really cool to see the community at a point where you can make a crazy set like Recall, get it made, and have this crazy set, because people are gonna love it, right?
It's not to say you guys shouldn't buy it if you enjoy it. Please buy it.
Yeah, right.
But it's a good point of, there's more sound business associated with it than there used to be, than the random person that's got a Google form that does the group buy and to have these institutions actually set up is something lovely.
Yeah, there's not the anxiety of watching the ranker come out, or not the ranker, but the Geek Hack post. Is it Dvorkul, I think is who it was that does those on Geek Hack?
And I actually feel really bad, because he is so good about like messaging people, and he's followed up with me multiple times about like, "Hey, do you have numbers for SA Recall?" I'm like, "I don't yet." Like, nobody's answered, so I don't know. Like,
dude, people used to watch those and get so anxious. And now they don't have to.
So like, you just like, again, I pinged everyone in my server. I was like, "Guys, SA Recall is getting made." Like, the most information I have is that it's getting made. That I was told basically before the group I ever ran, and we have sold kits since then. Is it 200 kits? I don't know, because I haven't gotten answers, because we're running a group buy over the holiday season, and folks like Europe, they have longer holidays than us, because they actually care about people taking time off. We don't, like. So,
well, we talk about. Well, first off, I don't think if you're going with a bigger vendor nowadays, your set's going to get run. Like Novel Keys, Omnitype, Can Keys. If they're going to run a set, they're at minimum, it's going to get made. Mm-hmm. I can't say that as a definitive fact, but that has been the case for a long time now, where it basically, if it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Is it going to sell 2,000 kits? Maybe, probably not.
Most aren't.
Most aren't.
Tarot, one of the best sets ever. Round 2 was what? 550 kits, 600 or 700, 800.
Crazy.
Like,
a fantastic kit. A lot of people loved it.
Yeah.
But I think you're kind of safe. But we've talked about this a lot, Osiris and I, about a lot of times we like to go through sets and go, well, would this make it in 2018? How is this set? Sets like Moto Light, yeah, absolutely. That gets shipped, and Moto,
nope,
no, yeah,
nope,
no way.
Mizu, I don't think Mizu makes it. I think Ursa makes it, but I don't think Mizu makes it. I don't,
Yeah, but then there's variables that you're thinking of too, like because like a person that cares less about color would say Ursa is similar to camping. Okay, right, and I get the problem with that statement. I get that problem with that statement. But in 2018, maybe someone says, well, we already have camping and we only run one set a year, one set a month. Maybe Ursa doesn't make it because of that. Right.
Yeah. And I think Mizu does because it is so different.
Yeah. At the time, how many blue sets did we have?
Well, we had laser, and laser could put a damper in that. Like, well, we've got laser.
Yeah.
But I mean, because we're talking about a time where Olivia sold 300 kits.
Yeah, how fucking crazy.
Olivia sold more kits in the first 5 seconds of it being open than it did in the original group buy.
Like, it's just wild. Like, it's just wild.
So, but it makes you think about there's a lot of sets, and it's great that we have this many sets, right? We have this many options.
I don't think it's bad at all, personally. Yeah, it's a lot to manage, and it's entry level new person. It's a fucking nightmare. I don't think it's bad.
So, but I think it's interesting to see, because we get people that are like, oh, there's too many, and now they're all bad. I'm like, no, you have the option of choice right now, and you're becoming more picky, which is good.
Yes,
because that means that if things are coming out that you don't like, that's great. But you as a person don't get to decide what's popular and what's not.
Yeah, exactly.
And you might love something, and that's the set Terra, not Terra, but Terra. I love Terra. People were not hyped on Terra.
No.
That was not a super hyped set, that's for sure. I'm very excited. That's a set that I'm going to love and cherish deeply whenever it comes out. But I get that set because this hobby is able to handle that right now. Yeah, Delta. There you go. Delta is a set that was even less. Delta definitely had to get bought out. So, it's. I'm glad that we have these things. But we lost Lang. All right. Well, welcome to a standard episode of Mechs on Deck, episode 79 or 78.5.
70. You're making the episode name go away. But no, with what you're saying, it's like, it's nice because now you have the choice where there's like 15 sets every month. You can, if you don't like any of them, you just save your money to the next month.
You just move next.
Here he is.
Did you disconnect on purpose?
No, I clicked on the wrong chat. I was looking through. I was trying to find the name of the person that was asking a question in chat the other day, and now I'm back here. So sorry, I was trying to give them credit because to your point about like being spoiled for choice. The other day you put like someone asked us to talk them out of buying last minute Serica.
Yeah, that was earlier today.
Okay, I was trying to find that person's name and I couldn't find it. So, anyways, but I think you hit the nail on the head where you were like, if you're on the fence, it's probably a no. Like, if you're already like, just probably don't buy it. Like, there's so many things for choice. Like, because it used to be when the set that runs is GMK Valentine 2017. That's the set that runs. Like, like you don't get to say, well, I won't buy this one, but I'll buy that one instead because I like that one more. Like
maybe in 8 months, the set that runs at that time I'll get.
Maybe I'll like that pink set that happens then because I've got this one key set I have to put on all 6 of my keyboards. Like
the other thing in 2017, 2018, the sets, a lot of them wildly mismatched. Did not look anywhere near what they were rendered as. So you could buy sets and be like, I'm kind of on the fence about this, get it and love it. And then vice versa. You love the renders and then you get it and you're like, well, this looks like shit.
This is terrible. I can't think of any sets that had terrible renders and then arrived and people hated. So I don't think that's ever happened.
It was really funny today because just because it's the set, right? It's the set. I was watching Dutch Master stream and he's building Zycos and he has a board with Necro on it. And full disclosure, I like Necro as a set, as a set that exists. I like Necro, but you'd have to be foolish to think that you would have to try to mess up renders that rough. Like you would have to really try and mess that up the next time. I like Necro's great in my opinion as a completed set. If you're buying it and going, here's pictures of it existing in the world, renders, not completely different story. But my wife was like, oh yeah, she's like, I kind of like it, and I was like, let me show you what it was supposed to look like. It was like I got to show her like, this is the set. This is arguably one of the most famous. It is the most infamous, but one of the most famous sets to ever run because of how messed up it was and how much there was on it. So it's always funny, I made a joke for like a week, just pushed it into the ground, just saying every set looks terrible and looks nothing like the renders. But with all these sets, you got what you got back then. Now it's there's all these runs and you get all these. We've gotten so much better at color matching. Like there's like waves of color matching that we've gotten, right? It was like the first it was like, oh, now we can go outside of GMK colors. And then it was like, oh, now we discover that maybe using RAL chips is better. And now it's like Nebulon's like, let's science the shit out of this.
Yeah. Which I'm all for that. Like, science me, daddy. I want it. Like, please, God.
I love the fact that like if someone with Neb's stuff, if someone's like, this doesn't match the renders, Neb's like, no, it does. And here's the science behind it showing that it does. Get fucked, noob.
It's but that's like it's just that's another thing that we struggle with as a community is just knowledge sharing, information, and people being informed. Because scientifically, if Neb says, or whomever, right? Because it's not only going to be Neb forever, right? Someone hopefully as smart as Neb shows up at some point. Because if anything happened to Neb, the community just falls apart, right? But like they can say, here's the science as to why these two colors match. But like so many people then just say they don't look right. Not factoring in anything associated with the camera that takes the photos or the screen that they're looking at it on or any of that. And some, a lot of people say, okay, so maybe it looks different on my screen than what it looks like in person. But a shit ton of people are just like, looks wrong. You're kind of always screwed. So it's gotten so much better now. And I think we've talked about this before. We as buyers also expect a bit too much sometimes. Yeah. Like we are very spoiled, especially compared to the days of Necro and Plum, right? So, which to have your two most famous sets be the two most famous sets for color mismatch are just good job. It's just so different.
I was talking about this with Jinly Bean. I feel like it's kind of died down now, and obviously Nebulant was the person that was like, let me just put a fire extinguisher to all the hate right now. But it almost for a while felt like let me walk you through opening up a GMK. I'm gonna turn this so you can see what's on my screen right now. Let me walk you through. It seemed like this is how people were getting GMK sets in. They were like, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. I can't actually open this. I'm messing it up. But they're like, oh my god, open it up. Put it at the screen. Put it at the screen. It doesn't match. Like, it doesn't match at all. Like, this is terrible. Like, what? This isn't perfect. And they're just like, fuck. I'm like, dude, calm down. Like, you didn't even get a chance to appreciate the set.
the peach on top of the cream was you throwing the caps at the very end.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're like
a little zero at the end.
They're like. I'm like, okay, are you
I
looking
want
at
that clip? I want
Yeah.
that clip of just
like I'm sitting there, like, did you even open the set and like enjoy it for a second? Did you even enjoy it for a second?
Chewy, I think that was a pretty Fueger's oops I gave you there, bro.
Dude, it was pretty oops.
Fueger's oops.
Yeah, and then as Iwane says, and then you got to hold the two space bars right next to each other and pinch one end, and then take a picture.
Pinch one end to make sure that there's oh man, and that
is that the spec? I don't know. What Andy from GMK?
No, what you need now is a not. Oh. Do you want to focus on me, camera? You need now not an actual digital caliper that goes to like the thousandth of the millimeter. You need an analog one that only goes to millimeter to be like, this is all. You can't even.
This is bullshit.
This is bullshit. It's clearly a tenth of a millimeter off by my count.
Chewy's gonna lose. He's not gonna be able to use peaches and cream ever again.
Oh my god! All of them are gone now.
Yeah, I'm using them this weekend.
Oh my god! I'm gonna look at this clip here.
Oh, man.
I just it drives me crazy when people like. I will never forget when I opened up Modern Dolch. Like that set in particular, that set and camping are the two, but Modern Dolch especially. I had waited a very long time for it, and it sold better than Olivia. It was still kind of a sleeper at the time, and I remember it came in this very nice like marble looking packaging. Didn't care for the packaging, but I was like, ooh, this looks good. And I opened it up and I like pulled it out of the tray. I kind of like didn't even look at it until I got the white pins open. For those who don't know, because I'm sure there are people now who are never going to experience the pain in the ass those fucking white pins are.
One of the tabs just snaps off.
One of the tabs just explodes out. And I was like, I revealed it and it was like, oh, this looks so good. And it just looks so clean. And I remember, and I really think someone QC sickness. I like that. That was good. But like, it was like an experience opening this set and being like, this is fantastic. And not once. And when it was the same with peaches and cream. When I opened it up, I wasn't like, oh, does this look bad? I was just appreciating what was in front of me. Now, I'm sure some people had some different experiences when Necro came, but outside of that, like some people, it's like peaches and cream. This is close enough, where I could understand when you open it up and you go, I'm a little confused, but it seemed like people were more excited. And I realized I did this on Waves.
Yeah.
I opened it up and I was like, oh, I don't care about anything except for that escape key. And I had a floating C. My C was right up top. But and I remember after that, I was like, I need to stop and rethink how I approach key sets, because I don't think that I am, and I'm not doing this for the right thing. No, I want to buy this, and like you said, we expect a lot. You're buying into the designer's vision, and he's trying to convey the vision to you.
They are trying to display the vision to you.
My apologies.
Sometimes decisions get made like before Neb was doing work, and I'm sure now still with people who aren't working with Neb on the color science aspect, will still make decisions of like, yeah, this doesn't exactly 100% match, but I think this is more cohesive.
Yeah, and so the trouble too is like, I'll talk to my experience with GMK Cafe specifically for that, because I have these RAL chips. Okay, when I get the RALs, they come in this fun little book, the ones that I ordered, and they're on a glossy paper. Okay, so then you get this textured cap from GMK, and you like I think I probably spent 6 days with them just at my desk looking at them, deciding is that brown correct? Is that the brown that I want? And I mean, ultimately, yes, I think it looks wonderful. Is it a perfect 1-to-1? I bet if Neb measured it, absolutely not. like 0% chance it's as close as it should be. That said, the way that it turned out and what the decision we made, we did a second round of color matching, did not like it. And so we went with the first one. I was like, if I'm so on the fence and I love the way this looks already, fuck it, let's eat it. And it turned out great. So like there are some of those decisions to your point where like, man, how perfect is it? Like if it's so perfect, sometimes I forget that it's not a perfect match. Man, let's just fucking move on. Like come on. Like
yeah. Well, I'm
especially
sure
when you're looking at plastic versus paper, different mediums, one is dyed, one's not. It's like, man.
Dude, I'm sure there are times when people get a sample from GMK and they're like, oh, this actually looks like way better to me. Like this is way more of what I was trying to, you know, envision, because you are somewhat limited with RAL. While there's a lot of different colors in RAL,
Yeah.
there's still a lot of colors that are not in RAL, right? That's why Pantone, if you saw the story from Garrett from Omnitype a couple weeks ago when he got all of the Pantone chips, there are a lot more Pantones than there are of RAL. There's a lot of
It's
colors that are between RALs.
staggering how many Pantone colors there are.
Yeah.
It's
nuts.
frightening.
It's definitely not ortho.
Definitely not ortho.
I'm still finding caps under my desk.
One of the greatest moments ever. At least I've got chapstick still though. Put on some
Chewy, you're gonna be trying to put that bumper together on Saturday, and
like, I don't have a Z key.
you're gonna be like, "Oh crap! Yeah, where's this Z key?" And then you're gonna find it on your windowsill.
I said I had I have a pair of shoes down here. I had two caps. Like picked up both the shoes. I was like, I bet some fell in here. I was like, bloop. So
I feel like we had a kind of a heated discussion there for a hot minute.
It went.
Get it? Heated and hot.
Dude, Toad Swags.
Dude,
Toad Swags.
all the people from the raid missed out on Chewy eating a giant glob of the lap stab.
That hurt. I'll be honest.
Oh my god.
Because usually when I have it, like, so for those wondering, like, I love that hot sauce, but I put it in chili. It's about the only. It's the only one thing I'll use it on is chili, or maybe if I'm really feeling like I want to go hard in the paint, I'll mix it with mayo and I'll put it on like a chicken sandwich. So there's still some, because the flavor is really good. I don't need to hiccup my way through dinner. So, but yeah, I have, for those wondering, you can probably, it's pretty early in the stream. I don't know if anyone streamed it, but I'm not going to do it again because I have a job tomorrow.
You're the other teachers are gonna be like,
where's Chewy?
Chewy, why you keep going to the bathroom, dude? You okay?
Listen, I don't want to talk about it. It's painful. Okay.
He's like, but there's a video of me. I can very clearly show you why.
Why? Yeah.
So I haven't tried it on pizza. Although with pizza, it's pretty. Why are you screaming in the bathroom? I haven't done a lot of hot sauces on pizza though. But I have just an ungodly amount of hot sauce now from the holidays. So excited, guys! If you have questions for Mr. Langelandia, if you have questions for us, we'll keep talking. But if you do have, we can talk. Trust me. During like lockdown, Lang and I were in Discord chat like 10 hours a day.
Davis, the answer is yes. Once GMK locks down a custom color, they keep it in their library.
Yeah. That's why you can do round 2 easy. Yes.
And interestingly, and I asked this question specifically because of the desire to do GMK round 2 for Cafe. If you do novelties, they keep the novelties molds. So the base cost for GMK Cafe round 2, I can lower because I'm not paying for novelty molds the second round.
There you go.
So,
it was best switches. I mean, we have our favorites. I don't think we're all under the assumption that there is no best switch. There is a best switch for you. My favorite switches are Zycos and Holy Pandas and Creams. Just those three are my top 3 go-tos.
Yeah, I like Zycos, JWK Linears, and Moyu Blacks, dude.
We need to order those.
Yes, we do.
Tonight. Let's do it tonight.
I will do it tonight.
Lang, we've got some new people here, so maybe just a quick 2 or 3.
Oh yeah, so Vint Black's huge fan. A good heavy linear all day. So JWKs, Spring Swap, that kind of stuff. Creams are very good. Brown Alps, always a plus, and I will say Zycos as well. Again. I have a couple questions. Lang, why are you so handsome? It's because I never cared what anyone thought about me. Artisans would love collaborations with that. Bigger base kit for Cafe Round 2? Abso-fucking-lutely. I'm not splitting that shit off anymore. We're just gonna yeet it out there. Big base kit, that's what Daddy wants.
The PSL kit.
The PSL kit. I love that idea where it's just all the accent
orange. Can we please do a PSL kit? My only request as payment is that I get a PSL kit.
I will see it. Okay, I will see it.
So, but then you'd have to get a new orange color. But yeah, it'd be fun. Nebulant. I do use. So the first time I've used, because someone told me to. My wife there's Mike's extra hot honey. So there's another layer. It's fantastic. I tried
it with goat cheese. Ooh. Because honey goat cheese is lovely, but that little tiny chili spice.
A little extra. We had non-bread pizza recently. Non-bread's like super easy to make. And so we made like non-bread pizza, and I doused it, and I was like, "Oh, this is amazing."
Guys, what if I did the less than 2 Olivia novelty in cafe?
Olivia would probably be okay with it.
I might ask her just to really ham the meme up.
That's one of those things where I'm like, that's so funny. I'm not even laughing.
Dude, Bunnies is asking if they have 2 different colors for different sets, even if they use the same RAL. When I was doing it, that was not my experience that would happen. They maybe do now with maybe using more color science theory or having refined their process. Again, it was, I mean, God, how many months ago? Over 18, 20 months ago, something like that we were doing color matching. So that's very different now probably than what it was then. So
absolutely.
What GMK said, are you guys looking forward to? Like currently running, or like one that's
waiting
waiting for delivery, or like one that you're excited to see happen?
I think both. We'll say both.
Both. All right, both.
Coming up, and then one that you're waiting on.
Coming.
Am I waiting?
I'd love to say Polybius, but I can't really.
Dude, I'm really fucking excited for that. Like, I love the idea of using the genuinely very high quality laser print that GMK does, and it looks great. It just screams. I love it. To me,
I'm honestly like kind of behind on what's coming up. If I'm sitting here thinking, I haven't really looked past like June. I know there's that website that's like, here's what's going to come relatively soon. I just haven't looked at it, but a lot of time what I do is I'll stop looking at stuff, so I stop buying stuff. But Moto Light, I think Moto Light's the one. Moto Light and Terra, probably more Moto Light because I know exactly what Moto Light's going to go on.
Yeah.
So,
what about you, Eric?
First off, shout out to Chackin's biggest fan for the 100 bits and Seaside KB for the Twitch Prime sub. Appreciate those.
I'm raising our roof.
Yeah,
I dig it.
For me, sets that I am looking forward to getting. All right, how long are you gonna raise the roof? I think it might be.
Well, I have to do 100 bits, right? So, I'm kidding. I'm not doing that 100 times.
You would wake up the next day and be like,
Don Bros, it rose.
GMK Moto Light. I'm excited for that. I'm excited for Moto Light. I'm excited for Sumi is a big one that I'm really excited for.
Yeah.
Also Hellbent TV, thank you for the Twitch Prime for 4 months. Appreciate it.
Ooh, 69% through level 1 hype train. Nice. Vote 69. Vote 69. Vote 69.
GMK Dandy. I forgot. I know I'm out of turn. GMK Dandy. It's like
Dandy. That's a good
that.
one.
I do like. I forgot that was running soon.
I like Posh a lot too. I liked the way that Posh did like the pink navy kind of Argyle style. I like that a lot. I thought that was very good.
And then as far as upcoming, a set that I was looking at the other day is GMK Lavender. It's like super light purple. I think it looks super clean. I like the Rabindra. I don't know if I said that correctly. Kit with the Katakana legends, sub-legends. I think that looks super clean. I think it'll look really, really cool.
Vote 69.
All right. Lang, I'm going to give you a very obscure reference. You got to tell me the TV show. Seaside KB, thank you for the 5 gifted subs. Thank you, guys. Everyone who's in the chat that got them, please give a thank you. Mechs on Horn,
3,
Seaside KB.
4, 5.
We also got 60. We got 69 bits from Delphin. Thank you, and 69 bits. 69 bits from Keeb Noob as well.
Nice.
Oh yeah, nice. Lots of people following. Thank you. But all right, I'm going to give you the reference to a TV show.
Okay, and then I have a question that the panda asked twice that I'm going to answer.
What's the TV show? It's not a that he doesn't say it. Come on, man. It's Brooklyn Nine-Nine.
I don't remember it. I'm sorry.
It's when Scully and Hitchcock discover that there's a secret girls' restroom.
Oh, yes. I'm so mad I didn't get it.
Laughing.
Yeah. Yep. Oh,
so
damn it.
I can't hear the word lavender without him going.
I'm sorry. Damn it. I'll go sit in the corner for a while.
What's the question?
Panda asked what it's like working with TKC and Infinity Key. I have personally had a good work with them. TKC and specifically Rise. I work very closely with Rise. Key sets are kind of his thing. So their response to Grain and actually ordering fixed kits right away so that they could come here. Obviously, they've been delayed because it's been a long time. I have a good relationship of trust with them. I don't think that they will make decisions to screw over the designer. I don't think that that's a situation. And they have a lot better processes in place because and specifically Rise, has done a ton of work over the last 12 months because, this time last year I was working with them on getting Grain going, and that was like I think they said the first outside designed Infinity set that they had done. So they didn't really have a process for that. And then, working with Andy at Andy CYO and them again on 808 Boom, they had a new template made and Andy helped them with that. And, they pushed that process forward. And then when we did Cafe, we refined the process even more. So I feel a lot better working with them specifically about Infinity Key now, even having the trouble that I've had with Grain. So
nice. Someone asked, let's see.
Space Cable. What's up, Reagan?
Yeah.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for the tier 1. Appreciate it, my dude. Also, how you doing, Reagan?
We're 2 months up. Our belly's like,
oh yeah, you preggers, man.
Trimester. Let's see. What kind of keycap should I get if my budget is $30? Honestly, save 20 more bucks. Go to Novel Keys. You're not going to get anything that you would be super thrilled with.
Yeah, find one of the $50 PBD sets from Novel Keys if you can.
Yeah, there's $50 key sets there. Space Cables. Thank you also, guys. Check out Space Cables. Great friend of all of ours is running. So can you pronounce it?
Reagan?
No.
Or Polybius.
Polybius. I keep saying Polybius because I'm thinking of the band that sounds similar. I don't want to say it because I don't. Whatever. It's the band that you and I knew. Very similar.
Oh, Chewy's correct. It's Polybius. A short I. It's Polybius.
Polybius. Oh well. Could have fooled me.
Yeah.
Polybius.
Okay. Also dropping that news. we're gonna work with Space Cables for cable collaboration with Cafe Round 2. So, hi Reagan.
Have you seen SA Green Gambit? I'm looking at it now. Green's Gambit.
I feel like this
seems like a meme since these are sets that
Green Gambit, huh?
I feel like
from
these are just 2 sets.
That name is very much, the render is very much not what I expected from the name. I hear green and I'm like, that's not gonna work.
Yeah. Streaking Bison, I think I intentionally just slipped it in conversation, but we're tracking for September.
Yes, a couple people did catch it in chat.
Yeah.
So Iwane and was it Gnarly Charlie for you? I think those two were like leaks. So respect.
Yeah, we got
based on the Queen's Gambit.
Oh, okay.
I mean, if I'm being honest, it's a little bit of a reach because sometimes it's kind of like if you make too obscure of a reference, like I wouldn't call like a GMK, like I wouldn't call a Brooklyn Nine-Nine themed set GMK Lavender.
Yeah, that's fair.
But then have nothing to do with lavender or anything like that. So that could be maybe the name gets changed a little bit. But now that you've already used the name, now you have to deal with recognition. Because who changes the name of a product, right? Like
no one.
Well, it's also like, how do you get to those colors from Queen's Gambit? Like, it's not like Queen's Gambit as a show has a like color theme or color scheme.
The most attractive man in keyboards, Nathan Alphaman.
Welcome
to chat.
Talking about Polybius,
the man, the beast,
Nathan Handsome Man. I have hard man crush on Nathan.
God.
I do wanna answer a question. Somebody asked about Rama with Cafe Round 2. Metal keycap planned, not Rama, and I'll let you determine what you can figure out for that. So, oh, Alex Otis is here too. Hi,
Alex.
It's
a party.
It's a party down here. Yeah, it's party's totes fuegs, Langs.
Totes fuegging, bro. Thanks for that sick Uber.
Sook oops. We're gonna have some oops, bro. We're gonna have some sick spotch. We're gonna hit down.
Oh man,
Sandos,
this spotch is totes fueggers, bro.
Just like flags out until the fucking it's like fuegerized. Am I right?
Yeah, fuegerized spotch. That's what that last dab did. It fuegerized the spotch.
Hell yeah, dude.
What is even happening right now?
So, for those who don't know, these are my two best friends. I've got Cyrus, known him for 9 years. It's almost in 8 years.
Yeah.
8 years. Work together. Obviously, we do Mechs on deck. Lang was my lifeline during
quarantine without. Oh my god.
Oh god. So, and I feel bad when I knew going into this because I was like, Eric's like, God damn, I have to deal with 2 Daves now. Because I'm already when I go, like when I'm on, right? When I do, because usually I'm a little bit more like relaxed, chill, whatever, unless we're like partying it up. Which I will say, if you want to see a 6'3" man jump into the back of a Mini Cooper, talk to us, Cyrus.
Yeah, I lose my reservations when I am intoxicated.
Greatest thing ever. He jumped. We're going to go to TCBY. And we get TCBY, and he's like dancing in the parking lot, and I'm like, dude, we gotta go, let's go. And he's like, oh, okay. And he like dives head first into the back of a Mini Cooper. We get home, and he's like, yeah, are we still partying? And he reaches up and he catches the fan. And we're all just looking at him, and he kind of stops. And he's like, all right, I'm going to bed. It's fucking amazing.
I feel like when I'm around, it's off the rails. I do enjoy. I do enjoy space cables here. When can we do Mechs on Topcast and have like 9 people on stream?
Dude, let's do it.
Throw some.
Oh my god, you guys would be so. There would be 7. You would have 7, right? Because there's 3 on Keepcast. Oh, and then guest, right? So
Yeah,
you would have 8.
8. Mechs on Topcastia 11.
You don't need me for that stream. Y'all are plenty of entertainment without me.
Nathan
I'm
Alphaman,
happy to join, but
Nathan Alphaman just volunteered.
Mega Stream would be awesome, but I fear the quality.
Yeah, you're gonna get the anarchy thing that happens where it just goes while we're talking. Like,
what is the best? Is it Coolicky? Coolicky? I'm assuming you're saying like, is it Clocky or Clicky?
I think he means clicky.
Clicky. My opinion, the Pale Blues are my favorite.
Ooh, I think box navies. They're good heavy. They're real loud. If you want clicky, that's where you roll. In my opinion.
Dude, box navies. Your fingers are gonna hurt, but it's gonna be loud as hell, and everyone's gonna hate you. But
I can't wait for Space Race. I can't wait for Space Race, dude. I can't wait to build that Saturn with those clickies. I cannot wait.
Like, I mean, some of my favorite streams are the ones that I get to build.
Neb, I've never tried sherbets, okay?
Sherbets.
True. I haven't tried sherbets either.
Upas here now too, man.
Oh my god, Upas is here too.
Upas is here. Upas, you should have seen him. He came out and he was like, "Let me tell you how shitty Cannon Keys is." All right, he was like, "GMK Cafe." I was running GMK Cafe, and I just couldn't.
Nothing but talking smack.
Every single time I went to go talk to Upas, he just told me like, "Fuck off, dude."
Upas just goes, "I don't believe you."
From you. Going to try Zyko's on a new board brass plate. Thanks to y'all. I'm sorry for your thumbs, but awesome.
This is Harrison. I feel like you should be asleep.
It's yeah, I'd say it's I mean, based on when I know you usually have to get up and leave to put your kids to bed for a while.
I love you. Go lay down.
Nathan Alphaman, it's a school night. Shake my head.
I know, right? Shake my head.
God,
school night.
What were we talking, man? That's
man, I don't know.
I think we could just go ahead and call it.
Yeah,
yeah. Because if we get into anything else,
it's
like
done.
you're right. If we get into anything else, it's going to be another 40 minutes.
Yeah, we'll be here till like tomorrow.
Exactly. So I'm going to go ahead and start us off by saying thank you to everyone who followed tonight, especially Seaside KB, who gifted 5 subs. I appreciate that, as well as Keeb Noob Delphin. And I'm misreading the other one. Is it Chicken's biggest fan? I assume like Chicken's biggest fan, maybe. I don't know. Thank you guys for the bits. We could not do this stream as well without our awesome sponsors. We've got Cannon Keys right now. So you can head on over to Cannon Keys. I'm going to try and say this name again. Is it Shen Shui? GMK Shen Shui is running right now, as well as Cat Crusader and Geek Hack PBT Lancelot. PBT Honeywell Bold's also up there. These desk mats by Crusader and Shen Shui are fucking insane. Out of this world. Like, they're fantastic. So go check out Cannon Keys. If you're looking to buy something, cannonkeys.com/Mechs on deck. He also put up instant 60s that do work with the Squid 60s. So if you did buy a Squid 60 and you want to kind of maybe have like a tester board or a tester with it, like, or just a hot swap build, it's great. They're also going to be extra. So if you're wanting to get on an extra, it's also just an amazing 60% PCB. So go check that out. Code Mechs on deck helps out the channel. I can't talk too much about soon-to-be Omni-Type. We'll go a lot more into detail then, but Dixie Mac, soon-to-be Omni-Type, we'll hear more from them. And then Project Keyboards running GMK Stealth right now, so be sure to check out GMK Stealth. It's a great set running for just a little bit longer. And then our awesome partners, Zap Cables. Zap Cables makes the best cables in the business. I love him to death. He's also got amazing desk mats and in a different shape. That is, in my opinion, more beneficial. Sometimes I like it. It's sometimes the wide is better. Especially if you don't have too much depth. But Zap Cables, check him out. Type Beast, you can go to typebea.st. He's got the best newsletter in town, so go check that out. You can go read through those newsletters, and it's also kind of like a little history of what's happened over the last year. So it's always kind of fun to read. And then Smith Rune, they got the Iron 165, the Iron 180. Iron 180 extras are in the near future. Well, hello, Mister.
Well, they were talking about the beanie, so I figured I would show the lovely hair that it was hiding.
You really let your hair down. Take it back. But yeah, Smith and Rune guys, Iron 180 extras are going to be happening when the Iron 180 ships. So be sure to check that out. As well as they've got great merch on there, great T-shirts, great sweatpants. So if you want to be Fuegs, get sweatpants.
You want to be Fuegs. Also, don't forget the newest sponsor of Mechs on Deck,
Raytheon.
The wonderful Raytheon.
For
the best knife missile on the market, disrupting weddings since 2001, probably.
Dude, I'm gonna go pick it up tomorrow. I'm gonna head down to the office, say what up to some homies that I know that work there, pick up that knife missile, bring it back. I'm gonna bring it by on Chewy's stream, where he'll be building a bumper at 2 p.m. Central Time on Saturday.
2 p.m. the best time.
And it's the best. You know why it's even the best? Free birthday candle.
Wait, Chewy, I just realized, do you still face north?
I mean, maybe. I don't know. No. I don't face the north anymore.
How long have we not been looking at each other?
I don't know. You've been looking at me.
Yeah, I just... Halfway through quarantine, we realized I faced south and he faced north, so we were looking at each other.
I face...
But I just realized that your new setup, you probably turn.
I face east now.
I was going to say, Chewy, you face east.
But it was a special moment. But guys, thank you. Yes, I will be here 2 p.m. There's gonna be some food to watch me eat. It's not gonna be hot sauce this time.
And he'll eat it really close to the microphone.
Oh yeah, baby ASMR. But thank you, Mr. Langelandia.
No, I had so much fun. I needed this shit today, y'all. Thank you.
Dude,
thank you for having me on.
And check out S8 Recall running right now on Novel Keys. Go pick it up. If you're down, pick it up.
You stop. But yeah, please. Yeah.
Mentorly's playing golf with friends.
Oh, that's a raid. That's happening.
I saw Cyrus, you were playing that recently.
Dude, I've been playing golf with your friends with Quakeums and some other homies.
Oh, it's so much fun.
Dude, it is so much fun. We need to have a golf with your friends
night.
An
evening of golf.
Bring the two groups together.
Yeah, so thank you guys, everyone who subbed, especially huge shout out to Apiary and Teha.
Right?
For especially after I ripped on Teha while eating hot sauce. But no, much love to the two fine people as well. We're gonna be rating Mentorly, another fine person in this hobby. So she's gonna be playing some friends. Playing Chungus and buy a Switch tester.
It's not ready yet, Chewy.
Oh, it's not ready yet? Oh shit. Sorry. I'm getting
it's ready now.
Switch tester.